Hey everybody, Adam or EposVox here, and I haven't done this in a while, but today I wanted to sit down and do another collection video, a haul video if you will, of recent game pickups that I've picked up for my collection via trade, via Goodwill search, Facebook groups. I've been doing a lot of Facebook group stuff, and talk about some of the actual hardware elements that I've picked up as well, because that's playing into more of what I'm after lately. Let's play an ad, shall we? That's what we do nowadays, right?
Are you tired of your streams or voice chats sounding like this?
Do you want the comfort and quality of high-end headphones without sacrificing microphone quality? Antline's Mod Mic 5 is the perfect solution. Their dual capsule microphone attaches easily and securely to your existing headphones and fits within any setup thanks to the modular cable system. It comes with a cable wrap to protect your wires, an optional inline mute switch, and sounds a little something like this. Check the link in the video description to learn more.
So we're going to jump in originally, which I've posted about all across social media, so if you missed it, sorry, but a month or so back I actually partook in an auction for liquidation, a liquidation auction for a local game shop that I actually visited quite a bit as a kid. It apparently just shut down at one point, or at some point recently out of nowhere, and they had to liquidate all of its assets. I didn't win a whole lot of games, but I did get a PlayStation neon sign and then some games that I'm selling on eBay. I've already sold through most of them, but I still got a little bit up there, and I've filled out a certain aspect of my collection here as well. So we're going to start with that and then roll into some pretty cool stuff I've been digging into lately. So, alright, so obviously the big thing I wanted from that game shop liquidation was the PlayStation neon sign. They had one PlayStation and two Xbox signs, but the PlayStation 1 got bid up pretty high, and I was like, absolutely, I want to get that. So I ended up not being able to get the Xbox ones, which was pretty sad, but I'm freaking in love with this sign. It's not like brand new condition. It was in a store window for a long time. There's some slight cracks, not in the tubes, but in the actual color. But it still looks pretty good. I had to buy a couple of plastic clips for it, and it looks amazing. I don't have a whole lot of shots of it right now because it's up on top of my server rack behind some stuff in order. It's huge. It's more than like 3 feet tall, and it's 3 feet wide. It's gonna be amazing once I have a bigger space to really fill out for a game room. But then I did bid on a couple game lots as well. I won one of each lot for GameCube, PlayStation 2, and PlayStation Portable, PSP. And I wanted to just kind of fill out my collection. I didn't entirely pay too much attention to what games were in which, because the best games were in the lots that sold for way more than I could get. But I did end up filling out some GameCube games. None of them are actually going to show. I'll show you a quick shot of the shelf. Nothing too exciting. And then a ton of PS2 games, like 200 or something. A lot of them were duplicates. Well, some of them were duplicates I had, and then a lot of them were sports titles, annual sports titles that either I just didn't care about anymore, or I wanted to go ahead and get rid of. But I did get a whole lot of PSP games for my collection here, and this isn't even all of them. This is mostly just highlights. And there were some UMD movies in there as well. I did have a bunch of sports PSP games available on eBay as well, but I'm actually taking that listing down. I should have done that already. I agreed to sell to someone locally. But I have 12 copies. I don't even think I pulled it out here. Yeah, I do, right here. This 2-pack. Archer Maclean's Mercury and Mercury Meltdown. Looks like a puzzle game series. I have 12 or 13 or 14 sealed copies. So I need to get rid of those. So those are on eBay as well. Keep in mind with my prices, they may seem a little high, but I do have to compensate for shipping as well, which isn't cheap. Most people ask for the price that's lower than the shipping, and that's my deal breaker, is if I lose money on it, I'm not selling it. But I did get some other copies, and some of these are sealed. Some of these are still sealed. I got a sealed Parappa the Rapper. Sealed. No, this one isn't sealed. But Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lion. Heard good things about the Tactics series. Never got into it myself. Wipeout Pure. Love the Wipeout games. I'm trying to hunt down the Omega collection, like in a good case. Clint from Lazy Game Reviews tweeted out that he got a UK copy that had almost like a PS1 long box, but it was also a jewel case kind of format. I really want that. I can't find it anywhere though. But really hunting that one down, and I'll talk more about the games I'm looking for in a little bit here. Sealed Secret Agent Clank. Ratchet and Clank game's supposed to be really good. Sealed Tom Clancy's End War and Loco Roco 2. And again, I had like a small handful of PSP games, so I was super stoked to fill out this collection. We got Dungeons & Dragons Tactics. We got Lumines, the rhythm puzzle game. We've got a sealed Patapon 2. That was one of the games when I did my soft modding tutorial that everyone said, like, if you're going to download a PSP ROM, get Patapon. So apparently it's pretty good. God of War Chains of Olympus. Obviously I have that. I'll mostly play on PS3 from the collection, but still pretty cool to have. The second Lumines. I also have one on Vita I picked up. I think I showed in one of my previous game pickup videos. I haven't done one in a while, and they've been pretty scattered as to what channel they were on. So I have a playlist link for them in the description below if you want to watch my other pickups. And then got sealed Lemmings and Pursuit Force, which Reggie and Metal Jesus Rocks actually just played through. And actually I can feel, it feels like the UMD's bouncing around in there, so I may need to go ahead and crack that open anyway. But they did like a big long video playing through Pursuit Force together, and apparently it's pretty cool. So I'm definitely going to have to check that out. And then, like I said, there were a bunch of UMDs. Most of them aren't movies that I necessarily watch, but I'm just keeping for the collection. But they did have Hackers, which has Johnny Lee Miller and Angelina Jolie in it. So that was pretty cool. I think that was all of the highlights I wanted to give from the PSP. There's some more on there. I'll show, again, a shot of the shelf and such. And then I got some GameCube games. Got a ton of PS2 games. I'm going to highlight some, and not all of these are from the lot anymore. I've been collecting. I had a couple people ship me from Facebook groups for like trades and stuff, lots of PS2 games. So I have a collection built up from a little bit of different sources. The big thing that like was sent with all of this is I got a Japanese Aqua Blue PlayStation 2 to play some of the actual Japanese PS2 games that I have. Super stoked for that. Gonna look and see if I can soft mod it the same way, just to make it easier for me for capture and things like that. But Japanese one, and it's a really pretty color. Super excited for that, and I get to play some of the Japanese games. So I got Need for Speed Underground. Some of these I don't know if I already had like in disc form. I have a ton of PS1 and PS2 games without cases, but I wanted to go ahead and pick them up anyway. GTA San Andreas, Sly 3 Greatest Hits is sealed, so that's pretty cool. Virtual Fighter 4 Japanese version. Odin Sphere Japanese. Actually, no, this one isn't Japanese. Never mind. Golden Sphere, an Atlas game. Love Atlas. Can't go wrong with Atlas. Dragon Quest 8, which I've been obsessed. Well, obsessed implies I actually tried them out. I've been super interested in trying, or in testing, or trying, or playing the Dragon Quest games because they're in the same art style as the Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and so on series that I loved the heck out of growing up. So that was pretty cool. Secret of Evangelion, Japanese copy. Disgaea 2. I got Xenosaga 1 and 2. I heard these games are good. And I also got something sort of related to that in a minute. Hitman Blood Money and the original Devil May Cry. Again, I may have the DMC in disc only, but this is a complete copy with a manual and everything, and it's in really good condition. So all good there. So really built out the PS2 library. And like I said, I got some other ones over here. So I'll show you the shelf because I want to walk over here and check these out. I've got Trigger Man, Medal of Honor Frontline, Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, GTA 3, Ace Combat 4, actually a lot of GTA games. I have 2 copies of 3 in here apparently. They have 2 different cases. One's a greatest hits and one's isn't. I have another Japanese game. It is Simple 2000 Volume 56. I don't know. Some of these were recommended by people I was already trading with that they thought they'd just give to me anyway to build the collection, which I'm super appreciative of. Resident Evil Outbreak, Resident Evil 4, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Gran Turismo 4 I think I already showed off. So those are the big main new ones that I picked up that I was kind of excited for. What else we got here? Picked up some Xbox 360 and original Xbox games recently. I've been pretty excited for. I'm filling up more of my Xbox. I kind of basically stopped collecting for the Xbox consoles after I made the switch to PS3 circa 2010, 2011 because I had spent pretty much that entire generation exclusively on Xbox platforms that I wanted to go back and spend more money investing in my PS3 collection for a little while. So I'm finally getting back to collecting Xbox games. A couple easy GameStop finds. I finally picked up Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z. It's in a black case for whatever reason, which kind of sucks. I don't even know if it's good, but I wanted to pick it up after the first of the new movies came out, which has been a few years now. Finally picked up the Kinect Star Wars game since I do have a Kinect hooked up here with the retro setup. Want to try Kinect out. I've never even tried it before, so I wanted to try it out. I've got The Dreamcast collection for Xbox 360. Figured pretty cool. It's got Crazy Taxi and Sonic Adventure and stuff. Pretty excited for that. Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. Never actually played it. Heard a lot about it. Obviously played a lot of the Mortal Kombat games in my lifetime, but never picked up the original MK versus DC before Injustice happened. So excited to check that out. And then we have Digimon All-Star Rumble. And Digimon Rumble Arena was one of my favorite PS1 games I played when I was like really young, like because Digimon was always this foreign super cool thing to me because it wasn't on TV as much as Pokemon. I didn't have the same, everyone had Pokemon games, but the Digimon games weren't the same. Digimon World is a great series, but they didn't have the Game Boy game. So Rumble Arena was like Super Smash Brothers, but with Digimon characters. It was pretty cool. And then I just picked up, this is sealed. Actually, I don't know why oh, I know why. Okay. I picked up, this is still sealed, so I'll have to crack the seal here, but Dead or Alive 4 for 360, because this has the Spartan 058 Nicole that I'll be referencing in an upcoming video. It has a Halo crossover, basically. They created a Spartan to play in this game, and then they did a crossover to where they got to use Ryu Hayabusa's armor in Halo 3. So I thought that was pretty cool. Played it in like middle school, I think, when friends who loved the Dead or Alive series had me over and I played it with them, and never picked up like most of them myself. And then of course nowadays it's all about the boob physics, so that was whatever. I've also been picking up a couple original Xbox games. My collection for that is pretty scattered. Until recently, I've not put any time into building that past what we originally had on the original Xbox when I first had it. So been trying to build up this collection. I have just soft modded my original Xbox. I picked up a Halo green, limited edition original Xbox. We vlogged about it a while back. This started before we moved. I'd been hunting one down and went through like 2 that were awful before I picked up one that works. And the disc tray is kind of wonky, so I'm super excited to soft mod it so I don't have to wear out the disc tray. And for that, I needed to pick up Splinter Cell, because that is the easiest game to use to soft mod it. I had a sealed copy of Mech Assault that supposedly worked, but it was the greatest hits version. Can't do the greatest hits, so I had to tried it, didn't work. Had to get Splinter Cell. I now have that on both PS2 and Xbox. But then I picked up, it's still sealed, Crimson Skies, which is the one that's the only one confirmed to be backwards compatible with the Xbox One, which by the way, you can system link between the original Xbox and the Xbox One. That's pretty cool, and I am definitely getting that Duke controller from Hyperkin. You know it. They haven't confirmed to give me a free one, but I'll be buying it regardless. A big thing I want to note, however, about the backwards compatibility is it's going to be a small list. Everyone's acting like all the original Xbox games are going to be playable again, and it's not going to be anywhere near that. Phil Spencer, I believe, the head of Xbox, in a GameSpot interview that I referenced during my original Xbox One X video, mentioned specifically that the original Xbox backwards compatibility is going to be a very small list. And that's going to be it, because there's so many licensing issues. And the big thing is everyone's like, oh, we can play the original Battlefront now instead of buying the new one. No, they're not going to let you do that. EA's not going to let the license happen. So you're going to have a very small selection. So keep your Xboxes. Also picked up Dead or Alive 3. I think this was part of a Goodwill deal I got. Pretty cool. And then picked up Panzer Dragoon Orta after unending recommendations for me to check it out. And it also apparently comes with like a hidden remaster of the original Panzer Dragoon game, so pretty cool. And got my original Xbox finally integrated with a 6x2, which means it splits the output to a capture card and my TV, integrated into my full HD CRT setup here. It looks beautiful on my HD CRT at 480p. Looks freaking awesome. All right, I guess let's then transition into the Goodwill finds. I have quite a bit here. I'm not going to run through them all. Actually, first, it's on the stack for whatever reason. My fiance picked up a couple extra copies of Animal Crossing New Leaf, so me and one of her family members can play with her. So at some point, I'll be burying in that. A little late to the party, but I've never really checked out an Animal Crossing game. So, yeah, well, we did one video on it back in the day, but I never really put much time into it past that. So these are all, for the most part, from Goodwill. One of these is from a Facebook trade, but the rest are from Goodwill. Now, this is a demo from the Computer Gaming World magazine of Max Payne. Seems to be in decent condition, from December 2001. It's in this little sleeve. And the reason I found it so hilarious and decided I wanted to pick it up was there was a whole stack of sleeves like this that got me really excited, thinking it was like someone donated a whole stack of demo discs. But like every single other CD in the stack were like Bibles on CD or like Christian magazine inserts or something. And there was just a Max Payne in the middle of them that I happened to find. And I just thought that was pretty charming that it was in the middle of all the religious stuff. And I like collecting demo discs. I still have a lot of my PS1 and PS2 magazine Pizza Hut demo discs, but I don't have a ton. And I don't have this like sleeves for them or anything. So I miss the days of having easy access to those kinds of collectible things. Now, from a trade on Facebook, I did get the original Metal Gear Solid Black Label. The case is in kind of rough condition, but the discs all stay in it. Discs are in decent condition, has the manual. Pretty cool. Obviously I have the PS2 HD remaster and the PS3 HD remaster of it, so I didn't necessarily need another copy, but I love the original Black Label games. I still love the green greatest hits games. I just like getting original copies of games just to have. And the Metal Gear ones are pretty cool in that like they do really cool things that you can't do on modern consoles, like the Psycho Mantis fight where you have to plug the controller into slot 2. It's not the same as going into like settings and reassign controller and it yell at you and stuff. So there's that. All right, the rest of these are from Goodwill here, and they are just totally random. I was just like skimming through the CD thing and just kept finding one-off things to pick up, and I'm sure I still missed some. There's the Deluxe Edition box set expansion pack for Call of Duty United Offensive. I have the actual box, like cardboard box of this somewhere, but this makes it sound fancy and it's in a CD case, so I want to pick it up. They're dirt cheap. Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction expansion. I'll have to blur out that key if I didn't already. Then we got some goofy like 90s software to the early 2000s software that I wanted to get just to throw in when I start doing old computer videos. So I have like Desktop Publisher with 500 clip art images, Encyclopedia Britannica CD2000, 4,000 color photos. Whoa. We've got, oh, this is actually a CD. The soundtrack to the original Punisher movie. Why not? System Mechanic 5, back when this was like a thing people downloaded. What do we got here? Streets and Tips, Microsoft Expedia Streets and Tips 2000. Just really stupid stuff. There are still a couple games in here. Medieval Total War Battle Collection. Never actually checked out a lot of those strategy games. I got a weird dual jewel copy of Medal of Honor Pacific Assault. This just went free on Origin for June, which will be over by the time you watch this, but it's still interesting. Got a couple more here. Ugh. And then these bottom ones are not it. So we got Painkiller, Heaven's Got a Hitman. That's another double jewel one. Taz Wanted, Tasmanian Devil game from Infro Games. We've got ATV Rally. And then Medal of Honor Allied Assault Breakthrough Expansion Pack. And 40 Best Windows 95 Games. Oh yeah. And unfortunately, I don't think it has that Balloons game I'm always chasing down on here, but that's okay. 3D Maze, Poker Broker, Landmine, Vortex, A Day at the Races, Peg Solitaire 95. Just stupid stuff. Alright, so this next set, I mentioned I was collecting some Japanese games, and a lot of the reasons that I do that is either for cheaper box copies of games that I really never kept in good shape as a kid, such as Pokemon, or because they have ridiculous cover art. So these first three are that, and I'm still missing one of these games, but I have Crash Team Racing, Japanese. You can look just how ridiculous they make Crash look. Crash 2, and then Crash 3 Warped. And again, they just look bonkers, and I'm just in love. I had a friend who collected all of the original Crash games in Japanese and was posting pictures, and I was like, I have to have those. I'm still missing the original Crash, just the original plain Crash Bandicoot in Japanese. So I'm still waiting to pick that one up, but I'm super stoked to finish this collection. I do have all 3 plus racing in cases, like full complete cases in English on the Xbox. They're not all Black Label. I believe, actually they may all be Green Label. No, Crash Team Racing it looks like is Black Label. I can't really see from here. Looks like the original Crash and Crash 3 is definitely Green Label. So, not original copies, but I mean, it was from forever ago. They're still there. They're kind of sought after now because the remaster's coming, which isn't out yet, but by the time you watch this probably is. And so I actually also picked up as a reward for some dog sitting I did for myself. I did dog sitting for my parents, but the reward was for myself because it was super stressful, which is why I haven't posted videos. You know, there was a week I only posted like one video. And so I ordered the Skylanders Imaginators kit. Probably not going to play it, but it came with the Crash and Dr. Cortex little Skylander minifigs, and I wanted those, so why not? Back to the Japanese stuff, though. There's a guy named Simone Pezzini, who is the one who sells a lot of these Japanese things to me because he's in Japan and goes to the stores and gets them cheap and basically sells them at cost shipped to anyone in the world. So assuming he says yes, there will be a link to his profile in the description below if you want to go check him out. Obviously, he didn't sponsor me. I've bought all this from him, but I wanted to shout that out because he's been great. But I got Pokemon Stadium, I believe Pokemon Stadium 2, Gold and Silver. It was just called Pokemon Stadium Gold and Silver. Nintendo 64, my first boxed, current that I would still have. Nintendo 64 game, and then Tetris 64. That was pretty cool. And these are both Japanese. I don't have a Japanese 64 yet. I don't know if they're moddable, but not a big deal to actually play them right now. And then I got boxed, and this one has a protector on it and maybe sealed. Gold and Silver for Game Boy Color. Freaking epic. And then Pokemon Trading Card Game and Pokemon Puzzle Challenge. And I have most of these already, well, probably all of them, in like actual English copies, but I never kept any Game Boy boxes back in the day. Like that wasn't a thing we did as kids, so pretty cool to have those. Now I'm going to be doing something else with Game Boy Advance and DS games coming soon. It was a pretty crazy buy for a project I'm going to do for a video. So if you're interested in that, check it out soon. Pretty stoked to share. All right, wrapping up here. I was trying not to go too long. It is summer. It is very hot right now. I'm using natural light for myself, which means it actually got a little darker over the course of this video. But we only got a little bit left. So, actually, we only have a tiny bit left. One more on PS4 I picked up. I haven't bought a whole lot of PS4 games recently. Went ahead and grabbed Geometry Wars Dimensions 3 Evolved. Or 3 Dimensions Evolved. I don't know. I love twin stick shooters and Geometry Wars, and it's freaking awesome. Wanted a copy for PS3, and I'm pretty sure this is one where there are no major patches or anything left. Everything's on disc, and that is something that matters a little bit to me for playability. I did pick up a couple Wii and Wii U games. These are not all of them. These are just the highlights. Got Super Mario Galaxy finally. Chu keeps telling me to play these. Super important that I do so. So I believe there's a second. I don't have that. Still looking for that. Actually, no. I see it right there. I did get both. What else was there? There was another Super Mario Sunshine, maybe? Whatever the 3D games. So I have Galaxy 1 and 2, but that's it. So any of the 3D Mario games I don't have, or the Super Mario Brothers for Wii U, or Super Mario Brothers for Wii, none of those I have at the moment. Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, finally picked up. Still don't have Twilight Princess HD, or Twilight Princess. Don't know where that's at. I don't have it yet, apparently. And then picked up a couple Wii U games. Mighty Number 9, I know it got trashed. The trailer was awful. I had almost, I think I missed the line to kickstart back it. I still want to play it though. I still want to try it out. I figured Wii U is the platform to do it on. And then they had on clearance, which usually means it's new. It's missing a manual, so I guess not. But for whatever reason, they had specifically on clearance Xenoblade Chronicles X, and I guess clearance because it was probably GameStop exclusive. It doesn't say on here, but I know GameStop printed their own copies of this essentially after Nintendo didn't ship enough to the West. So Xenoblade Chronicle X, always been told to get it. And then Star Fox Zero with Star Fox Guard. This was a box set, and again, on clearance, dirt cheap. They just wanted to get rid of it. Figured I'd rather get it than have it go to some kid who's going to destroy it, so pretty stoked. Now, this brings me into some other weird stuff that I've been getting into and collecting recently, which started with that neon sign that I picked up. Well, there's a couple tangents here, but with that neon sign I picked up for the PlayStation, I also got a Wii sign from someone on, I think it was through, what was the app called? Let Go. They had it on Let Go, dirt cheap. And it goes on the Wii U kiosk. And so I have that now, but I only picked that up essentially for trade. I don't really care for it. Like, I'll happily keep it in my game room if no one ends up wanting it. But I do want to trade. I do want it as like trade fodder for if someone has a PlayStation floor mat, PlayStation Lite, PlayStation sign, or original Xbox. Anything. Like, I'm not a huge Nintendo guy. I've said that plenty of times, especially with the way they treat YouTubers. But so I kind of got it as trade fodder for anyone who wants to trade for that. So there's a Facebook group for game kiosk and display collectors. And so hoping to trade it there. You can check out the group in the description below as well. And if you'd like to trade with me, if you have something, let me know. And so I've been getting into that. I have also been collecting some old video game VHS tapes, and I've been digitizing them. I have a whole video coming on VHS digitization. I found a really high quality way to do it. And I'm backing up. Another auction lot I won was what was supposed to be like 3 boxes of a couple books and some VHS tapes from a local middle school library. And it turns out it was basically the whole library. So it was like my entire truck full of boxes of books, which we then had to divide up. Donated most of them. I have a couple boxes I'll be selling, and we kept quite a few. But then like 200 plus educational tapes, a lot of them locally made that probably don't have like updated copies saved anywhere that I want to digitize. But I also got into collecting some of the older VHS tapes that for video games. So I've got Diddy Kong Racing, Banjo-Kazooie, and the Banjo-Kazooie is a Toys R Us one. I've got the Pokemon trading card game trainer video, which already went live on my Pokemon channel. Check that out, link in the description below. The rest of these go up on the gaming channel, just so I can avoid copyright trouble on my main channel. Lunchables Sega game tips, and then Hot News Insider for Jet Force Gemini. So, also looking for any more of these that exist out there, or the original How to Beat series. These kinds of things, absolutely in love with. In case you can't tell by the intro and updated channel graphics, super into the VHS aesthetic right at the moment. Been getting super into retro stuff. Hence all of this. My NES died. It had the blinky red light and I couldn't get it fixed. I might be able to replace the 72-pin connector, but cleaning it didn't help. So for now, I picked up the Retron HD, and then a company sent me out a couple really cool controllers, which I'll have linked in the description below to review. And so I needed a new NES to test with it. So reviews of everything like that coming soon. Also picked up Logan on Blu-ray, and this copy comes with a black and white version as well, apparently. So that was dirt cheap on Amazon randomly for some reason. So super excited, great movie. We also went to see Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and Wonder Woman, both great films. That's pretty much it from the highlights. I've been doing a lot of trading and collecting and Goodwill hunting recently. And so I've been really... Oh, and I picked up 4 more CRT TVs. So I have my HD CRT. I got 3 CVMs, color video monitors, 2 Panasonic, 1 JVC. And I'm getting into the whole RGB SCART connection setup mess. It's a nightmare, but I'm getting into it. And then a couple super basic CRTs that I'll be using for B-roll and for little projects, and eventually building out a cool game room. Probably not in this apartment because this one's already full. I did post a 360-degree video or picture on my Facebook page of the game room and office as it is currently. If you want to check that out, link in the description below. And yeah, so I mentioned some of the ones I'm looking for: Crash Bandicoot 1 Japanese, anything Crash related. Like I don't have all the Crash games. Definitely want those, or any Crash merch. If you want to trade for the Wii U sign, let me know. Everything about that, etc. in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. This has been a very long video, much longer than I anticipated, but my camera's dying now, so I have to wrap it up. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. Get subscribed for more awesome tech videos and retro game videos and so on. Let me know if you want to see more like this in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time.
EposVox is a Patreon-supported show. This year has been our best year thus far for Patreon, and our videos just wouldn't be possible in the quality or quantity that they are produced without the support of our patrons. Go to patreon.com/EposVox to learn more. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll see you in the next one.